Hi, and welcome back to episode 3 of Pokemon Red. I hope you've had a great day / night so far. Like I said in the end of the last episode, I went ahead and trained up my Pokemon. All of them to level 12, except for the Monarch. I got him to level 15 because at level 15 he learned Poison Powder. And Poison Powder might be the thing that's going to help me take care of Brock. Also, I ended up catching a Pikachu. I named it V-Jolt. And I am going to go ahead, I recorded myself doing it. There's no audio or anything to it, but I'm going to go ahead and insert it right now. Yeah, so that was the video of me catching Pikachu. Nothing really special or anything going on there. But like I said, my strategy, because I don't really have much type advantage here, my strategy is going to be to try and get him with Poison Powder so that we can hopefully have a chance. So Brock is the leader of the Pewter Gym. He believes rock hard defense and determination. That's why Pokemon, all his Pokemon are rock type. Yeah, I still want to fight you. Am I the only one that thought that it would be really cool? I felt like this always should have been the case, but when, I don't know if they've done it since, but when a Pokemon uses Harden or Defense Curl or something like that, that allows it to up its defense, that it should also allow it to do more damage physical attacks. Like if you harden your Pokemon and use Tackle, it should do more damage. I kind of feel like it should always have done that, but that's a discussion for another time, I guess. So he's going to throw out Geodude. I got the Monarch. I'm going to throw out Poison Powder. And I think I'm going to... he's going to use Full Heal, but that's okay because he has a limited amount of those. It apparently didn't affect him the second time, but he shouldn't have more than a couple, which I'm actually kind of surprised he even had Full Heal. So we're going to do this until he can no longer do it, and hope for the best. I'm kind of glad that we're kind of getting this out of the way now, because if he runs out, which I think he should have no more than 4, right? Or gosh, I'm learning something new here. I never even knew Brock could do this. Okay, so he must be out of them now. So now he can't use it on Onix. I'm going to use Confusion because there shouldn't be. It should just be straight. Oh, he's confused too. Cool. I'm going to use this opportunity to throw a potion on the Monarch. But like, I never knew Brock had full heals. So that's kind of crazy. I never knew that, but now he shouldn't have the ability to use it on Onyx at all. But Confusion should be straight like neutral damage because it's not super effective, nor is it ineffective against Rock type. So we're gonna keep Butterfree out and do the Poison Powder strat again. What? Where did he get more full heals? This is crazy, dude. But we're gonna do the same thing, tried and true, that we did with Geodude. Eventually, he's gonna run out of full heals. That was 4. It should be 5, right? Okay, so he's probably got no more. He didn't have any more to use. So now we're gonna just Confusion and hope for the best. If he uses Bide, that does double damage to whatever damage that you do after he uses it. So I'm not going to attack him at all, and theoretically it should do no damage. So I don't think poison damage counts, but yeah, nothing happened because of that. So we're just gonna go ahead and take out Brock now. So Brock's defeated. He took me for granted, and that's true. You underestimated the power of a butterfly. I'm not probably gonna keep Butterfree the whole game. That's yet to be seen. I already know 4 Pokemon I want to be on my end game team. And it's going to require me to hook up to Gold and trade to get their final form. But I was also thinking about if I do that, if I hook up to Gold and trade, I might trade all of my Pokemon, because after they're traded, they should get bonus experience. And I thought that I might do that because of, I thought I might do that because, it took me, in between the first episode and the second episode, it took me about like half an hour to grind, and it took me like 3, almost 4 hours of grinding, with a few breaks here and there, to grind up all my Pokemon to level 12 and then get like Butterfree to level like 15. So I figure that if I do that and I trade them and they get the bonus experience, then that should help me like grinding in between episodes and stuff. So I'll probably do that off screen, because like I have to hook it up to the Game Boy and everything. But that'll just I think make things a little bit more smooth. She throws out a Pidgey. I throw out Pincushion. Pincushion Scratch. And this is going to basically, all the battles from here to the next gym are essentially going to be just battles that are being done to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like they're basically, this is gonna how we're gonna do the level grinding, and it's a little more interesting than like, fighting wild Pokemon, because it's an actual trainer. I might have to just swap Pincushion out. I don't think it's gonna hit at this point. But I figure trainer battles should be fine to show, even if they're pretty much the same, because spoiler alert, there are a lot of like fighting this particular type of trainer that has the same Pokemon and do pretty much the same thing. So, you know, that's that. But it's more interesting than, like, I fought, you know, 3 Rattatas in a row. That kind of deal. She's going to use Pidgey. I'm just going to stick with V-Jolt. So like I was saying, like, I just think it'd be more interesting, and at some point I'm going to trade the Pokemon so that they can get like boosted leveling and everything too. How much money do I have? Because it probably wouldn't hurt to go get more potions. Almost 2,000. You know what I'll do? I will clear out a few more trainers, and then when I end up having to go back to a Poké Center, I'll grab them then, and I'll do that off screen. But I'm going to try and keep my having to go to Pokemon Centers while battling Pokemon to a minimum, because it is actually pretty easy to just go to the Poké Center instead of using items. And I'm going to try and not keep running back and forth, and if I do, I'm going to cut that out, because unless it's like the Poké Center is like right there, like where it is now, like I don't see a point in cutting it out right now. But if I'm all the way to the end, which I think there's one before, there's a cave coming up. It's the first cave in the game, and there should be one right outside of it. So I can heal there, but I do want to get potions before I go into the cave. So we'll just see how things go here in a minute. Poison Sting. Yeah, so like I was saying, I think it was in the last episode, at the beginning there's not really a huge like type advantage type deal between the Pokemon. Like a lot of them are very basic, a lot of them are very like, you know, there's a lot of normal type Pokemon super early in the game, and then a lot of the more type variants come later. Like it's going to be a little bit, I think the first water type we can technically get, I think at this Pokemon Center before the entrance of this cave, you can buy a Magikarp for an insane amount of money. That's not really worth it because it's Magikarp. Gyarados is really good in this game, but you know, I don't want to use Gyarados because I usually use Gyarados. So I kind of have an idea of what I want to use for my final Pokemon. So I might have to go a little bit without a water type or get a like substitute until then. I'm going to like trade out. Let's go to Sizzler. I don't really want to give away what I want on my final team, because I'm not really going to say what they are until I catch like the Pokemon that I need to catch for it to be like that. I just think it'd be more interesting if I don't sit here and talk about what I'm planning on getting, because I might change my mind on a few things. Ekans. I already know that Ekans is going to go down to Confusion, so let's go ahead and do that. Poison type Pokemon are weak to Psychic type. In the original generation of Pokemon, like, Psychic types were pretty broken because like they didn't really have a weakness. I'm going to go back to the Poké Center and grab those potions. Since it's like right here, until I get the bike, I'm I don't know, depending on how close it is with the bike, I might quickly run and do it, but like I said, I do plan on cutting these out the further away I get to at a Pokemon Center. But getting back to what I was saying, psychic types don't really have a weakness in this game, and they were kind of like the foil to a lot of different, trainers and stuff. Because if you got like an Alakazam, it was super fast, it did a lot of damage, We're gonna we'll just grab 7. I think I have 3 or 4. So that should be about 10 potions now, and that should help me get along for a little while. But yeah, so it didn't really have like a foil. So if you were battling someone who was using like a psychic type, you were kind of just like, you just kind of had to go at it and try to do it as quickly as possible before it like really did anything substantial. We'll go with tackle this time, why not? Yeah, let me see how the difference between tackle and tackle and scratch. I think scratch is just a little bit better, but it could be either or this time around, Oh, he's still standing. He's got like what, 1 HP left? Pincushion should be leveling up soon. Pincushion evolves at level 16. Kakuna, this one's going to be a freebie. So I'm going to throw Bird Brain out because I want to try and keep them all relatively level. Even if they're not going to be on the end game team. It just kind of helps to do that. And I don't remember if I explained this, but if you hit select on moves, you can actually rearrange your moves. I'm more likely to use Quick Attack than Gust unless there's a Pokemon that's weak to Flying type. But yeah, so I'm going to try and keep them balanced because, when I was a kid, I used to basically just put all my cards on my starter and just use the starter and had really weak Pokemon on the side to take over if something were to happen. I think a lot of people played that way when they were younger. But, there actually is, even in this original game, there's actually ways to strategize. It's just in the main game, a lot of the status effect abilities are not as great as they are in competitive. And I'm not really a competitive player. I never really have been. But I just know that there are a lot of status effects that are not as great. Okay, so we're gonna go with V-Jolt. So you can get different different amounts of experience based on what the Pokemon level is and whether or not it's evolved or not. So a level 9 Metapod, I didn't really see what Caterpie gave. I think it was also level 9, but a level 9 Metapod should give more experience than a level 9 Caterpie. And the fact that they're both trainer Pokemon, it should be even more so. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump and get this guy. Hey, yeah, I'm not wearing shorts. Deal with it. This is before each, Oh, Sparrow. I might just go ahead and switch to V-Jolt. This is before, individual trainers were given names. So, this is before, Youngster Joey. Youngster Joey's in the next game. That's also the game that they give you a cell phone. Because cell phones were a thing around the time Pokemon Red came out, but they were a far cry difference than what they are now. Like, they're even completely different from like the flip top phones of like the early like 2010s. I think 2010 is roughly when like, it's not when like the smartphone really started coming out, or was it like 2008? I don't remember, but what I do remember is that like cell phones were way different. In the 80s and the 90s, if you had a cell phone, you were either a doctor or a lawyer who had a lot of money. You weren't just like, somebody who worked as a cashier at the local grocery store, or, worked at the convenience store or anything like that. Like, ran the register at like the bookstore. Like you had to be like super important and make a lot of money, and like a stockbroker or something like that, who was like, people needed to get in contact with you all the time. Like a mechanic at the local shop didn't have to have a cell phone. And in a way, like, I kind of miss that, because like, sure, I really appreciate having a cell phone that I can like watch YouTube videos on and do all sorts of stuff, have access to the internet with, but things were a little bit more simpler back in the 90s, when like you weren't hooked up to the internet all the time and you had the ability to get information in other places. Like if you wanted to talk to a friend, you had to go talk to a friend. You could, or you could make a phone call, but it was usually to be like, hey, let's meet up and hang out. It wasn't basically like we can sit and text back and forth all day and not really say anything to each other. It wasn't really like that. But, cell phones, modern cell phones and modern technology and even the internet and everything like that, it's made things better in some ways and worse in others. Not really going to go into details about that, because I'm sure everybody has their own opinions about what is better and what is worse. But, it is what it is. I certainly don't personally hate the internet. I think I'm going to get to the next Poke Center. Either that or I'll finish out this fight. But I might get to the next Poke Center and then call it. Because it's not that far away, but I know there's at least one more fight, so I might actually just call it after this battle. Because I do need to edit in that one part for catching the Pikachu. And I want to try and keep these videos in between that 20-25 minute mark, as I try with all my videos. But I recognize that at some point they're going to have to run over. Okay, so that was the end of that bug catcher. He's done like dinner. That's the next trainer. I'm gonna get, I'm just gonna get to the Poke Center, because I'm pretty sure it's just this fight and then it's right up there. If it's not, then we'll call it after this fight. Should have a Jigglypuff, right? Yeah. If I remember correctly, there should be a Jigglypuff in this grass. Unless that's only in blue. I don't think it's only in blue version, but it might be. I'm going to swap out to Bird Brain, because that Jigglypuff is like, really knocking my block off. Dang, Jigglypuff. I would be surprised If I run into one, I may try to catch it. I would be surprised if I ran into a Clefairy. I think that guy does. Does that guy do a battle? No, he doesn't. Yeah, so there should be no more fights because the Pokemon Center's right here. There should be a chick walking around. Yeah. But that guy right there, this guy sells the Magikarp for a crazy high price. And he tries to, like, get you to think that it's like a super mega awesome Pokemon, but it's not that great. It's just Magikarp. But of course, you know, Magikarp, once you get it to level 20, it actually becomes good. Okay, so this is where I'm going to call the video. I appreciate you watching. If you watched all the way to the end, I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day/night. Goodbye.